So in this segment, we're going to be talking about new Brexit checks doubling whole freight delays. And apparently it's far worse elsewhere. So worse than double. I assume they're talking about Dover, the Dover-Calais crossing. I could be wrong. But from what I've seen, this story is predominantly about import checks, which would make sense to be fair, because these are, freights, ships going to Hull. So spare capacity at Hull's port is being used to avoid the types of congestion seen on roads leading to some channel ports caused by new customs controls after Brexit. Now we've seen people, Brexiteers, saying, "Oh, delays at Dover and Calais are great because it means other ports are going to do better off it. Other ports weren't ready. The government didn't put the money up. That's the problem. These ports don't have the funding. They need the money up front. They never got it." However, freight being shipped between Hull and Rotterdam is currently taking twice as long to clear both ports as it did before new Brexit checks started last month. So, yeah, Brexit is impacting the EU, but the EU have more ports to deal with this stuff, and we're far more prepared than we are. Michael Gove consistently talked about 50,000, I think it's customs officers the UK needed. Where are they? Don't see them anywhere. It's just crazy what's happened here. Hull are struggling now. We'll talk specifically about Hull as a kind of constituency, as a voting bloc soon. Queues of lorries on the A20 heading to Dover have become a regular sight since the new raft of Brexit checks were introduced at the UK border on the 1st of January. So these are predominantly import checks. These will be import checks that are impacting it because the UK only started doing import checks at the start of the year. And let's not forget, we haven't even started physical inspections yet. That's where the delays are going to get way worse. It has led to lorry queues of up to 6 miles outside the town. Now, 6 miles is a bit tamer than Dover, but what you got to remember is Dover is a much bigger port than Hull. Similar scenes have not been seen. Similar scenes have not been seen here, despite the the A1033 and the A63 forming the major route to the eastern docks, as well as the busiest part of the city's road network. So what they're saying is they're seeing, from what I can read, because it's not the best written article, not mean to be mean here, but it seems like Hull have seen 6 mile lorry queues, but hasn't affected broader traffic just yet. And I did Google the A63, and that is in Hull. So, because it goes from Leeds to Hull by the looks of it. So, not great for Hull. Speaking at a Hull City Council scrutiny meeting, the authority's Economic Development and Regeneration Manager, Alex Codd, said all new additional checks were being carried out within the port estate and were not currently causing delays on surrounding areas. And I wonder, as kind of the increase in trade happens, as it does throughout the year, how badly will this impact Hull and other port places? Because they don't have the funding for it. Dover's the one that's been getting most of the headlines, so it does it concern me a bit that maybe Calais is not getting the attention it deserves. A new border control post has been built at King's George Dock, where physical inspections of food imports from the EU are due to start in July, which is good that they've actually started setting up things, but are they going to have the vets that they need? Are they going to have the other members of staff they need? I doubt it. Before the UK's departure from the EU, no such checks were required because we're part of the single market and customs union. Hull has substantially fewer regular freight sailings to and from Europe than Dover because it's a smaller port. It makes sense geographically. Even so, real-time data from a website tracking border and sea crossings for trucks, trailers and containers show the average time between arrival at the Port of Hull and departure from the Port of Rotterdam currently stands at 51 hours compared to a usual journey of 21 hours. So this is where the double figure comes into play, and this is more than double, to be fair. That's massive, 51 hours. And, as things become more efficient, people learn the IT systems better and they kind of mature a bit. That will be good, it will help, but as trade ramps up, that will nullify any gains you get through efficiencies. Mistakes and discrepancies in the forms are believed the main reason for the delays in Dover, as drivers cannot join a ferry without the correct details in place, so they can't leave the UK without having the correct paperwork and passing through the GVMS system. There's also been problems with the UK's new customs IT system, which manages the process. I assume they're talking about GVMS here. Mr. Cod said a recent survey carried out by the council to gauge the current feeling and impact on Brexit and local businesses has produced an overall negative picture, which is ironic because the people of Hull voted for this, and the people of Hull have been impacted very negatively by Brexit. Let's not forget that they've got the Kakela, which is a big fishing boat which has been stuck in Hull because it can't fish. Essentially, we couldn't get a deal with Norway because we apparently reneged on an agreement we had with Norway, and Norway were like, get the hell out. You don't want the longboats to run up on you. And so if we look at the EU referendum, the people of Kingston upon Hull voted predominantly to leave, 67.6%. So for anyone who gets stuck in traffic in Hull and complains about it, ask someone who voted for Brexit, is this what they voted for? There's more. So this is about the electoral the election. So you can see here the Conservatives actually came quite close to winning the seat from Labour, and Phil did some analysis after the 2019 election where he basically said if the Brexit Party didn't run, and I suppose if UKIP also didn't run as well, the Conservatives would have taken way more seats from the Labour Party. Sorry, struggling to speak here. But you can see they ran it very close. Was there any more here? No, that's a different story. And you can see the point being is that, is this what the people of Hull voted for? Is this what you voted for? Longer traffic jams, 6-mile queues, your port essentially being stuck, your fishermen unable to fish, can't even get the fish we like, which is cod. We're stuck with herring and mackerel, which is nothing wrong with those fish. I enjoy those fish, but that's not what the most of the British consumers like. I don't know what more to say. 6-mile lorry queues is tame, but once we start doing physical inspections, that will most likely get worse. And the simplistic solution that people have of other ports will just do very well from this, simply untrue, because they're not built for this. They weren't ready for this at all. You can blame the ports, but it's the government that are really meant to fund the ports, and the government let them drown in paperwork essentially. So I've got nothing more to say apart from remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, support the channel on Patreon if you can, and if you live in Hull or you know someone who voted Brexit, ask them, is this the Brexit they voted for? Because if it is, and they can predict the future, can you ask them what the lottery numbers are and ask them to pass it over to me, because I wouldn't mind winning the lottery. But see you next time.